Hey everybody, thank you. My friends are here. I appreciate that. Thank you. They're loud. Do I get a royalty mark? I'm Ben, and I don't really like it when people call something a treat, but they don't mean food. You know, like when you're at the gym and you're at the end of your workout and your trainer's like, all right, you're in for a treat. But they mean like crunches, or like pull-ups, or like leg curls. Or, you know, when you're in college and you're being studious and you're like getting to class on time and your professor and your lecturer is like, hey guys, you're in for a treat. But it means like additional reading, or like a guest lecturer, a pop quiz, or like the worst one, like my favorite. Don't you guys know when you're like in your native land and you're like doing your ritualistic dance to the tribal drum beat, living your absolute best life, and then like a dilapidated boat pulls up to the shore and a group of pale white men wearing buckle hats get off, and they're like, hey everybody, you're in for a treat. But they mean like smallpox and slavery. It's just not fair because in each of those situations, we thought you brought us something delicious to eat. I was under the assumption that you had brought us brownies. Specifically like the corner piece that's like crispy on two sides and chewy in the middle. That's what I wanted, like brownies, not your additional pull-up, not your additional essay, not your additional pillaging of my people. I wanted brownies. As you guys can probably tell by that story, I have somewhat of an unhealthy relationship with food. I've been working on it, I've been trying to get better at it, but I'll admit, you know, I have been struggling with my weight. Let me see, June will make it like 32 years. But recently I've been being more consistent in working out. I started doing CrossFit. Oh, thanks. You know, they say you can always tell when someone does CrossFit or is a vegan or is a girl that has a skirt with pockets because they're gonna tell you in the first 5 minutes of meeting them. So I'm Ben, I do CrossFit. I actually have a bit of a testimonial in the amount of time where I've been being consistent in my CrossFit training. I actually have lost 90 pounds. Oh, thank you. Oh my God, thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. It's been a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, a whole lot of prayer, and we're just gonna keep hope alive that one day I'll find my lost son, whom I lost at CrossFit. There are flyers out in the lobby. We have an anonymous tip line. Should you see something, say something. There is a GoFundMe account. Every little bit helps. I'm just kidding. I don't have any kids. Not anymore anyway. I'm okay with kids, like I'm pretty good with kids. I teach a couple of classes, and so when the time that I spend with kids is like structured and scheduled, I tend to be really good at it. When it's not, I end up in situations like this one time where I just gently, just delicately choked out a 14-year-old girl. In my defense, she actually lied to me about being pregnant. You know what? I heard how that sounded, let me explain. So this whole situation of accosting happened in a place I'm sure you all have guessed by now, a little city called Moscow, Russia. And I was actually on my way to class, and the girl was a part of a gypsy gang that tried to jump me on my way to school. True story, this is my testimony. I was running a little late and getting to class, and so I did what you know everyone does when you're running late, getting somewhere important. I stopped for breakfast. I'm not gonna be late and hungry. So while I was just eating my little Russian McMuffin, I see this girl, she's about 14, appears, she looks about pregnant, and I'm like looking at her doing like this really engaging, alluring, like sad, crestfallen dance, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she is so brave, I should help her. So I like reach into my wallet so I can get her a few rubles and be an ambassador for America and Jesus Christ. And so while I'm like placing the money in her vicinity to like cash charity and goodwill, she grabs my wallet. And I'm like, oh no, what's happening? There's something lost in translation. You know, let me not do this way. And as I'm trying to fix the situation, two of her fellow gypsy gang members grab each of my shoulders and they're like pulling me. And so I don't know if you guys can tell this about me, but I'm from Detroit and you're not just gonna take my stuff. So I like blacked out momentarily, and when I came to, my wallet was miraculously back in my pocket, and I was just gently just pushing my thumbs into her throat, shaking her back and forward while like simultaneously thrusting back to get the people off of me. I was able to break free. I got free unscathed and all of my things intact, and the moral of that story is that I don't go to Europe anymore. Just throw the whole continent away. I have no reason to go back. And choking a 14-year-old girl honestly isn't the worst thing I've ever done. This is another true story, and my mother can attest to this one. She's in the house. Hey, Mom, I love you. When I was actually 19, home from my first year of college, I was involved in my first intoxicated driving incident. I'm not proud of it by any means. It's one of my biggest regrets. I was running a little late, going to work, and was listening to my show tunes, the great American pop musical Rent. 525,600, and I just like T-boned a drunk driver. I was completely sober. He was drunk. And his car spun and it hit a brand new Cadillac. It was a 3-car, everyone was okay. Everyone went home except for the drunk guy who went to jail. And I went to the historic Boston Edison district with my mom and dad. But besides those incidents, I think I'm a pretty good guy. People tell me I'm a good guy. I'm a nice, charming gentleman. You can't really tell when you look at my internet browsing history, however. And not because of what you guys are thinking. Get your minds out of the gutter. But I recently took inventory of what I look at online, especially my video streaming services and the actual movies and shows that I'm watching. And my top 3 are this show called My Strange Addiction. Have you guys ever heard of that one? It's a show where people are like, I'm addicted to dressing as a baby, or drinking bleach. And then the second one is this show called The Handmaid's Tale. Have you guys seen this? It's a really dark dystopian thriller. You're applauding for genocide, man. A really dark thriller. You can't be gay. They're just killing everybody off. Women are just taken advantage of horribly. And then rounding out the top 3 are Walt Disney World family vacation planning videos. And I have this irrational fear that one day I'm gonna get in a stop and frisk situation, and the FBI is gonna grab my computer and it's just gonna gently scream child trafficker. And I don't do that. It's not funny. I would never do anything like that. But I actually go to Disney a lot. I've been a couple of times to Walt Disney World, Disneyland. I've been to Tokyo Disney. I really want to go to Shanghai Disney. I think The Handmaid's Tale is actually a really great informational preparatory video. Help us all get ready for 2020. It's gonna happen. Thank God Canada's right there. And then, watching people who are addicted to things like drinking bleach, it kind of makes me feel less bad about the fact that I'm 32 years old and I still eat my boogers. Stop it. But speaking of which, guys, this has been a real treat. My name has been Will, and I thank you so much. Have a good night.